Hello, I'm making a Tussie Mussie using herbs and flowers from my garden. A Tussie Mussie is an old English word for a little bundle of flowers and herbs. Very fragrant and very pretty. Find out how I make my Tussie Mussies and also why I make Tussie Mussies. To make your fragrant summer garden Tussie Mussie, you'll need a selection of fresh garden herbs such as mint, calendula, thyme. The flowers are fine too. This is another kind of mint with beautiful purple flowers. I've got lemon balm. This is variegated. Any variety will be fine. Lemon verbena. Oh my goodness, this is one of my favourite herbs. Chamomile, rosemary and lavender. If you don't have herbs growing in your garden, then those potted herbs you can get from supermarkets or even the ones in little bags will be absolutely fine. Now, when you've gathered your selection of plants, the thing to do is to give them a really good shake. Now, this is to dislodge any insects that are lurking in your little bundle. And when you're fairly sure that there's no extra passengers, get some string. I like to use fancy stripy string, but any string's fine, or some knitting or crochet yarn, and tie your bundle, here towards the bottom in a good secure knot. Now I'm just going to tie mine in a kind of bow. It's a secret about me. I'm actually rubbish at tying bows. I sort of do a kind of fancy knot, but you know, does the job. Anyway, I'm sure you'll be able to do something a little bit fancier than that. So the bundle is now secure, except for this piece of thyme, which is trying to escape. So I'll just stick that back in. Oh, it smells absolutely gorgeous. Now, what do you do with a Tussie Mussie? You can, of course, just pop it in a vase. It would look beautiful on a table, or give it as a really lovely gift if you're visiting friends or family. I make them to make the most gorgeous herbal bath. So when you're running the water, place the Tussie Mussie in the water and let it swish about as the bath is filling up, and all those gorgeous fragrances will be released. After the bath, you can hang the Tussie Mussie up, and it should be fine to use about 3 times. If you're using calendula, often those petals will be dislodged. Now, my top tip for using a Tussie Mussie or any bundles of herbs in a bath is to have a sieve ready to catch any bits when you pull the plug out. Otherwise, if there's large lumps, it will go down the plug hole and could be a problem. So the sieve rescues them. If you don't have a bath, place your Tussie Mussie in a large bowl of warm water with some Epsom salts perhaps, and then use it as a gorgeous foot soak after a long day hiking or gardening. Now, I mentioned how important giving the bundle a good shake is, and I'll tell you how I know. So a few years ago, I made a Tussie Mussie. I placed it in the bath, filled it up with warm water, really looking forward to having a lovely soak. And when the bath was ready, I got in the water and stretched out, and oh, lovely. And there, in the water with me, paddling away, were lots and lots of little insects. So I had to get out of the bath, get my sieve, which fortunately I had ready to catch any bits of herb, and rescue all of these little creatures that had suddenly found themselves in an Olympic-size bug swimming pool. So, to save that problem, always check your Tussie Mussie first. This is something you can make year-round. Herbs like thyme and rosemary are winter hardy. You can pick those all through the winter. And of course, you can use dried herbs. For lovely gifts, you can make your Tussie Mussies now, hang them somewhere dark and airy, away from powerful smells such as barbecues or cooking smells or people smoking. You want the fragrance of the herbs. And when they're properly dry, wrap in paper and store in a drawer. And they're just fantastic then as gifts. I know it's only August, but sometimes having some Christmas gifts stashed away is quite a nice feeling, and they're free.